So I got a funny one kind of on the same thing. So after all your swims, they make you dive to the bottom of the ocean.
Okay.
Well, fuck, like I had the tightest wetsuit known to mankind, kind of like you did, right? I fucking got there. I was a big, thick dude. I had a wetsuit on, so fucking tight. I couldn't swim. So I was putting out like a madman for fucking 85 minutes on a 2-mile swim, right?
Yeah.
So I remember the first time I tried to dive down, I couldn't hold my breath. Like I couldn't do it. I don't know how fucking deep it was. I came up and I just did like this, right? Like I just showed him my hand. After that, before the swim started, I'd grab a handful of shit with rocks and like I found a fucking silver dollar one time and I put that in my little back UDT pocket, swim my fucking ass off. I'd go into the water and I would just hold my breath. And then when my dive buddy came up, I'd come up and I'd show my fucking hand with all the rocks
Perfect.
and shit.
Yeah. There's
I'd
like
be
good to
like,
go.
fuck,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
Just trying to find a way, brother. But
So,
yeah.
and another thing at Cole Range, right? That's kind of like when they're the hardest on people, especially in leadership positions. So, like, you got a platoon sergeant or a PL, whatever the hell you want to call them, doesn't matter. It's training, right? Um, but somebody in leadership and in class leadership, and if you were a weak leader, guess who's going to be the platoon leader? If you're a quiet guy, guess who they're gonna put as the
Oh, fuck
platoon
yeah,
leader,
bro.
right? And so I saw the most people quit being the platoon leader or the class leader, whatever you want to call it, because they would get up there and they start stuttering and shit, and and we had people that like, oh, that dude's gonna make it, right? Nah, they would make him class leader because they made an example of themselves. They had a bad showing on an event. You're class leader now, you piece of shit. Let's make sure you don't get away with anything again. And they get you front and center, and those dudes quit within sometimes 15 minutes.
So listen to this one. This was one of my most monumental deals ever. So I was fifth in my chain of command when I got the buds. Okay. I was
Mhm.
coming out of the fleet 2 years. There's a couple fucking animals ahead of me. Tom Story was a fucking EIW champion, a Naval Academy wrestler, fucking PA dude, tough as shit, but he had two bad shoulders.
Yeah.
There was three lieutenants. So three lieutenants, and then this Lieutenant JG, and then there was me. He was a year ahead of me. So I was like fifth in the chain of command. And so I remember week one went by. We lost, one of the lieutenants, one of the captains, 03. We lost another one. Tom Story was on the pull-up bar. Both his shoulders dislocated. We lost him. And so it got down to there was a lieutenant, and I remember he was having a lot of leg problems, right? So like we were like about week 2. And I remember I was just like, yo, shit, if they put this motherfucking JG in charge, like I better have my shit fucking ready. Cause they would be fast, man. And I remember we were
10 minutes.
yeah, so we were we were doing beach PT, right? Like, so at the beginning you do all your PT in the grinder, but then sometimes
Mhm.
they would take you out to the beach so that they could clean the sand under your feet when you're doing abs and shit like that. They would watch your fucking, so you couldn't cheat. Like it's fucking
Yeah.
impossible. So
Yeah.
we were out there, and I remember fucking dude's legs like fucking just quit working, and he got up, and then they were like, fucking stand up, and we jumped up, and I was a boat crew leader, and they were like, I'm not gonna say his name, but they were like, Lieutenant JJ, you're the class officer now. And so I went from being just a regular boats crew leader. So now I'm the number 2 dude because
Yeah.
like if he's fucking up, I'm the next dude. So I got to run up there with him. So I run up there and I'm like, all right, here we fucking go.
What you got for me, man?
So he's like, I'm like, oh shit. And I kind of knew that he wasn't going to
Yeah.
do well, but I never in a million years thought this was going to happen. Right. So he gets up there. They're like, what's the fucking count? And that's a big deal with us is the count. Cause we go to every time there's a count, right? What's the count?
Yeah. Yep.
I remember he turned around and he was like, what, what's the count? And I'm standing like I'm facing him because I'm facing the formation, like away from the formation. He's looking at me. And I remember the instructors were like,
Yeah.
and he was like, it's out. And I was like, oh shit. And I'm sitting there looking at him like, this ain't going well. And I remember one of the instructors walked up to him Jacob, and put his arm around his shoulder. And I was like, and so I'm standing there, right? I'm like, oh God. I'm like, what the fuck is going on, right? Like, are they getting ready to, like, maybe they're going to give him a pep talk or something, right?
Yeah. I'm about to make your life real easy. Go over there. You're
So,
not a part of
dude,
this class no more.
but this shit was crazy because, like, I'm front and center. It's happening right next to me. He put his arm around him. He said, hey, why don't you come with me, man? And they turned and they started walking away, and they hadn't got 5 fucking feet. And the instructor next to me said, hey, Mr. fucking Zweig, you're in fucking charge now. Let's see you fucking fail. And I was like, hey, buddy, fuck yourself. Hey, motherfuckers, we're doing muster a different way. If you got everybody here, sit the fuck down. If you don't, stand up and tell me who ain't fucking here. Because I had been ready for it, right? And I thought the way we did muster was fucking idiotic.
Yeah.
Okay.
But some good idea fairy came up with it day one, and it's just stuck through all the class leaders.
God.
And you're sitting there like, what are you doing?
Dude, 14 boat crews, we had to get a all present and accounted for.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you fucking stupid? Like, if you got everybody here, sit the fuck down, okay?
Yeah.
Dude, I turn around.
It's like counting off on a bus, right? Like, count off from the rear, and then you fuck up the count 10 times, and the bus driver's sitting there crying.
Shit. Yeah. So, dog, I turned around in 10 seconds. It was like, hey, man, 71 people, all present and accounted for. And the instructor was like, bullshit. I'm like, all right, fucking line them up. So that's the big deal. Line them up, count off, like you're saying, right?
Yeah.
70 fucking 1. To count 70 fucking 1, bud. You right? Because I was a shit talking motherfucking buds because I didn't give a fuck how much they beat me. Yeah. But I just remember, like you're saying, right? They put a motherfucker in charge and it would fucking wilt on the vine. Like,
yeah.
Or
go on, sorry. Oh, I was just gonna say another thing. I think they do it in buds too. I'm sure they do. Is obviously like the psychological humiliation of being a loser, right?
Oh, yeah,
keeping the class down, being the last guy, whatever it is.
Absolutely.
And they would make those dudes class leaders in RASP, right? They'd be like, oh, you want to be in the back? Cool. Well, now you're going to be in the front so you can lead. And they know like that's all they need to quit, right? They need a reason to quit.
Yep.
And they just give it to them on a silver platter, or they line you up. And like this happened to my buddy, a good buddy of mine, and he actually failed the first time he went through RASP because of this. He was at Cole Range, feet were all jacked up, and he was always last on hitting the wood line, and they got him in front of the class, and they had everybody in the class walk up to his face and tell him what a piece of shit he was and how he didn't deserve to be in the class, and then they would fall back in formation. They had like 80 dudes do that to him. When your class doesn't, when the people to the left and right of you, your classmates don't want you to be there, and they don't want you on that team anymore because you're slowing them down, that kills people. Kills people.
So in buds, they do it a little different.
Okay.
They'll tell one of the dogs in the class, hey, go fuck that motherfucker up.
Okay.
And so like I had one of my dudes who I love was fucking dragging ass under the boat like 3 days in a row. And they sent a wolf to his ass, and that wolf ate him.
Yeah.
And he fucking quit.
Yeah, we didn't have too much of like the physical force aspect of it. The only time it ever kind of got physical is for some reason, I don't know how this rumor got spread or how it happened, but allegedly there was a gay guy in our class. And the cadre came up to us, and like after training, this is like week 5 now or some shit. And they're just like, hey, gays don't belong in the regiment. You're on the 3rd story. You know what to do. These handrails on this building are only 42 inches. People trip and fall all the time. And like, that's one of those things where, like I said, I'm like one of the nicest dudes from that community. And even I was just like, Roger Sergeant, like, if I see him, like, you know what I mean? Like,
they better him than me.